Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So I just want to say thanks to everybody that likes and shares and subscribes and watches my videos and everything. It's really helpful. Now today on the channel we are looking at this. I want to call it a puzzle game, but really it's also a management sim as well as a resource management sim, but it has an awful lot of puzzle based elements from within the game, which makes it very unique to itself. Now, it's called Train Valley Console Edition, whatever. And so obviously that makes sense because it's an old 2015, I think, 2015 PC game. Now, it's just been re-released on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and Switch. And like I said, it's got like a lot of resource management elements, but it's also got some very interesting puzzle elements to the game as well. Now what you have to do is pretty much send trains from A to B via timed intervals. So you have your different trains stations like this shown on the screen here, and you build your track and you put your train out of blah and send it to here. But what? So you failed. It's not an easy game at times. Even on the earlier missions, I was finding it quite challenging, which is not a bad thing at all. There's a full-on sandbox mode as opposed to it just having the regular, classic mode. And like I say, it's a re-release on console. What they've actually done is give you all the four main areas of the original game, and included the Germany DLC as well for the game for the console version, which is quite cool. So you get the DLC side of things as well. Now, basically, like I was saying, it's more than just a puzzle game and a sim game. It's like a mashup of the two together in this weird concept that you need to manage your timing and strategy for getting your trains from station A to B or C, D, E, 5, 6, 7 different train station stops. And at times it is quite relaxing. You can just watch the trains go from A to B, and it can be quite chilled in that way if you've got things right. When it just fits perfectly and you've got them rolling in unison, in sync, and it's going, it's really quite cool. But when you don't and can't figure out the layout and the track and the timings correctly for when the trains are coming, because it doesn't change per level, it is just the same autonomous train timings and everything. So if you get the train track laid out perfectly and you get your timings right, it just flows nicely. But if you don't and they start crashing, it can be quite I wouldn't say stressful. You get a bit anxious in ways where you think to yourself, oh god, why can't I do this type of thing. Now I really do enjoy this game, and as I said, I do find it a little bit challenging straight away, pretty straight away, and that's okay, I guess, because what I don't do is I've not been sitting there for hours and hours on end. I've been playing a level or two and then leaving it, coming back, trying again. And it's got a lot of replayability in those realms because you're not forced to feel like you need to play it for 10, 12 hours on the trot. It's got a lot of return value and a lot of replayability, like I was saying, coming back to it and playing it again and again. Now, the sandbox mode, I'd say, is more relaxing, somewhat more around the area where you'd probably find that it's not as crazy. I'd say that the sandbox mode is more like the management side of things, and it being the puzzly side of things. And there's just so much here for people that enjoyed old style games like, say, A-Train or Theme Park and such, but maybe not to those crazy levels and extents. But for me, the game is really, really good, and you can suck hours into it if you like. The first time I played through it, I probably put time to go wrong quite a bit because I was trying to figure out the puzzles and the way in which I needed to have things to make it work. which is quite cool, really, because it makes you think as opposed to just going at it. You've got, you can pause the game and say, well, that's going to be now, and you know which trains are coming at what times and at what points, and then you realise, I need to be having this bit here ready for that, because we know it, and you figure it out, so to speak, and that's what makes it like more of a puzzle game than just a sim game on its own. But generally, it's a lot of fun. It's the one thing that I did find a little bit finicky was the controls, but it could be because it's been ported from PC to console. The controls do take a little bit of time to get used to, because especially when you start feeling like you need to do something quickly, it can be, that could be the anxious side going, oh god, I need to do that, and blah. But apart from that, I really, really enjoyed the game, and there's a lot of, like I say, replayability and longevity in the game, and I really think it's worth picking up. There's, like I said, if you've played it on PC already, maybe you're not going to want to buy it on console. But it is and it has been a long time since it was on PC, so maybe it's one that is something in which you'd be interested in. I believe it's also available on iOS as well, so it might be on you can play it on the iPad. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's easy to pick up to begin with, but I'd say after the level 4 or 5, it starts to get quite taxing. So it starts off easy and then it goes quite hard quickly, which is cool. I'd say the one thing that might irritate you is if you're trying to do a level over and over and over and over and over again. But that's the whole point of puzzle games, to try and figure it out and that. But as a train management puzzler type of sim game, which is all mashed up together, this game hits the spot so well. It's really put together nicely, and there's not a grand deal more to really say apart from that. It's a fun game, enjoyable, and quite a time sink if you want it to be, and also then quite an easy pick up for 5 minutes if you want it to be as well. You don't need to do it either way. It doesn't force you to do 5-6 hours to figure out one. It's just a generally happy-go-lucky train game. I mean, who doesn't like trains? If you're Sheldon Cooper, you love trains, Anyway, enough of those stupid jokes. I'll catch you on the next one. If you do want to ask me anything about this game, just drop it down below, because I am sporadically playing it between other games, so I might have other thoughts on it and other things to say and answer to people later on. And yeah, if you do, just drop them down below. And if you're new around here, you can subscribe if you like. You don't have to. If you enjoyed this video and random games that I play, just drop me a like, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you very much, and goodbye.